Hello, Thrivers, and welcome back to Anxious and Thriving, the podcast where we still don't have a tagline because I change it all the time, and the podcast where we have only just figured out how to use our microphone correctly. Can I get an applause? Thank you. Thank you, post-editor me, for adding in the applause. Thank you all for clapping in your homes, in your car, wherever you are listening or watching this podcast. My friend calls me out on it all the time that I use my mic wrong. And then this weekend I was visiting some friends and I brought that up, how my friend always says that I use it wrong. And he's like, "What kind of microphone do you have?" And I said, "I have a Yeti." And he was like, "You need to talk into the side of it and not the top of it," which I've been doing this entire time. And I'm like watching my computer setup right now because I see that it's recording. I see the little sound waves going up and down, and it's so much louder than my normal recordings. And it took me 9 episodes to get here, guys, but we made it. Another applause. Another round of applause, please. Thank you. I know, I'm quite the expert. But today's episode might be a little quick, you guys. Honestly, I just vibe with however I'm feeling. And today, I'm just gonna speak how I feel and see how long it is. Sometimes my episodes can be 45 minutes to an hour, and sometimes, I think my shortest one, was it last week? It was 40 minutes? This one might be 30. I don't know. I was explaining to a friend this weekend, my process of, coming up with ideas, sitting down, setting up, recording, and then editing. And I was like, I'm pretty good at rambling, even though it's not always the best thing to do, but I can do it, like I'm doing literally right now. And so, sometimes I'll take notes, and sometimes I won't, but this time I have taken notes. I am ready. But let me just ask you guys, how are you doing today? Please, I'm waiting for your response. I'll leave this blank so you can respond. Okay, ready, go. Thank you. My day, what is it? It is Tuesday today. I'm going to film/record this podcast, and then I'm going out to lunch, and then I'm going to come back, and I'm going to edit it. And hopefully I won't be up until midnight. But you know what? I don't care because I love doing this podcast with you guys. And another thing that another friend asked me this weekend was my favorite part of doing a podcast. And I don't know if this is sad or not, but I'm not used to people asking me about my life. I don't know. Or I'm not used to, I don't know, talking about me. I need to get more used to it and just being comfortable with being confident in the things that I'm interested in. But basically I had 3 different answers. I was I like that it's just me and I can regulate what I talk about. And I can just be my raw, true self on here without anybody telling me to act differently or talk about certain things. I don't know. I can be completely myself, which is sometimes hard for me to do because of my anxiety. I'll put up walls. I'll put up different, quote, personas so that other people will feel comfortable. Update on therapy? Haven't been. No therapy yet. Listen. I know. You don't have to tell me. I need to go. Everybody needs to go to therapy. Having a professional talk to you about your problems, your struggles, just your day-to-day life. Having a professional, just someone listen to you. Anyway, this episode isn't about therapy, but you know what we should do? I'm just trying to make this episode longer because I know it's going to be short. Let's all do a breathing exercise because we only did it in one episode and I would like to do it again. So we're going to do the one that we did before, okay? Which is going to be 2 quick inhales and then a long exhale through the mouth. The inhales are through the nose and the exhales through the mouth. And we're going to do that 3 rounds. Okay? So wherever you are, get comfortable. Relax your shoulders, unclench your jaw, remove your tongue from the top of your mouth. Shake out your hands, your legs, whatever you need to do. Crack your neck. I do that all the time. And we're gonna begin. If you're driving, please don't close your eyes. Please keep your eyes open. Okay, ready? Also, if my inhales sound bad, it's because my deviated septum and my allergies. Okay, here we go. 2 inhales. Hold it. And out. What we're doing here is we are inhaling all the good things that we want in life. We are inhaling love. We are inhaling acceptance. We are inhaling growth. We're inhaling our dreams, our manifestations, the things that we strive for, self-love, all that. And we are exhaling all the toxic shit. All the negativity all the negative things that we say about ourselves, all the stress going on in our life, we exhale that and we bring in only good things. Okay, we're going to do it again. Ready? Hold it and exhale. And one more time, we're going to inhale twice through the nose, only good things. Ready? Inhale twice. Hold it and exhale. I have to say, as a yoga instructor, like, you don't really get to do it completely because you have to speak when you're exhaling. But I felt it inside my soul, and I hope you guys felt that. Whenever you're listening to this, if it's the start of your day, I hope this helps you with a peaceful mindset to the start of your day. If you're listening to it midway through the day, I think that's important too, because we often get stuck in whatever we're doing. If you're listening to this at the end of the day, it's a nice way to unwind. Also, if you are listening to this / watching it on YouTube, comment below what time you're watching this, because it just helps me to know, like, is my 11 a.m. post on Wednesdays good? Also, just comment below, like, what topics you want me to talk about, or what you relate to. I just really would like to interact with you guys more, so leave a comment if you're on YouTube. Subscribe if you're on YouTube. That will be really helpful for me and just help me create a bigger group of friends. And yeah, thank you. Also, send this podcast to a friend. Okay, can we get into the episode? Hello? Okay. This episode is about the fear of the unknown, which I think is something that we all really, really struggle with. And for me especially, I know I talk about this time a lot, but it was really tough for me back in 2019 when I was really struggling with anxiety and depression. And when you are kind of like trapped in that mindset, you don't really feel like you can get out. And I think I've used this as an analogy, metaphor, I don't know, before, of like where you are kind of entrapped in like this concrete box. From the inside, that's what it looks like. From the outside, people might see it as like a transparent box, so really they can't see the box. But you feel like it is concrete. There's no windows, there's no escape. You just feel stuck. And mental health is not linear. Eventually you will come out of that, however way you decide to. Therapy, reaching out to people, self journeys, all that stuff. And eventually, like, that box might not be as big. It might not be concrete anymore. There might be some windows now or whatever. So, like, it's not always completely gone. Sometimes it is. Sometimes it comes back. And I just want to let you know that that's all normal and that we all experience it. But for me, especially in 2019, I know I've explained this, but I'll go over it again. Basically, I had graduated from college. I had a summer job. And then after that summer job, it was just seasonal, so it ended in August. And a lot of my friends got jobs right after they graduated college. So those were, not high paying jobs, but like high enough where they could afford an apartment and move out of their childhood homes. Some of my friends like moved to different states, and I was like one of the only ones left in my hometown, and I just felt like a failure because I wasn't on this timeline that everybody is following, that society tells us we need to be on. The whole going to school, graduating, getting a job, being successful. I hate that we like deem successfulness based on money and like if you can support yourself and all this stuff, because like money is just a materialistic thing, and like I'll talk more about it later, but really like the whole meaning thing that I'm going to try to get to for this episode is that, like, you already have everything that you need within yourself. And that's a hard thing to come to, especially when you are dealing with a lot of mental health issues. And another thing I will say, and I know I've said this before in other episodes, but like in this year when I was really struggling, I had just finished or got out of my one and only relationship, but also it was long. It was like 3 years. And I no longer had this person that I was used to having all the time, someone that I relied on, someone that I could talk to about my day, talk to them about anything. And of course I had friends for that, but like when you're in a relationship, or at least the one I was in, like it's more than just a friendship, obviously, so you can be maybe more intimate with them. So that like intimacy, that comfort, I no longer had that. And it took me a while because when I was in the relationship, I was very dependent on them. And once I was out, I was finally learning about independence and being my own person. But it took me a while to like be okay with that independence and realize that I'm a badass bitch and that I can be independent. But it took me a while. So I was struggling with not having someone that I could go to for everything. I was comparing myself to, again, my friends, not having a job. I guess in my field, I did have a job, but I was working with my mom, and I would go to work with her, and then I would come home with her, and that stress just was always there because she would get stressed out at work, and then she'd come home and still be stressed about it. It wasn't a job that was in my field. My what's it called? My degree? My field of study? What is wrong with my brain? My major. There we go. I landed there eventually. My major was marketing. Honestly, I don't care about marketing. I just like the design aspects of like creating a graphic for an ad, or creating like for my YouTube videos, thumbnails. I like editing. I like the creative stuff behind marketing, I guess. So photos, videos, graphics, all that stuff. Anyway, so I was working with my mom in event planning. That I didn't really care about it, but it was a job and it was making money, so I was doing something. But I was still living at home. I was one of the only ones in my hometown. Also, like, if you hear birds in the background, I've noticed that, like, in a lot of my episodes, you can hear the birds because, I don't know, they're right outside, so you can hear them. But it's kind of calming. I like it. And the cars that drive by. But I had this overall mindset in this period of, like, loneliness and depression and anxiety that I was stuck and I couldn't get out. Because it felt as if nothing was happening for me and everything was happening for other people. And I was so scared and so upset that nothing was going to happen for me. And every time I talk about like a dark point in my life or a sad point in my life, my relationships or my anxiety, my depression, it puts me back in that mindset that I was in. It could be the bright light that's in front of me, but like I like feel the pain that I felt a few years ago, 2 years ago, I don't know, 2019, it's 2021 now. But I'm taken back to where I was, and a part of me feels a little bit similar to how I felt in 2019, but it's different. The mindset that I had in 2019 was that I'm stuck and nothing's happening for me. Everything is happening to everybody else, and I don't know why. And I feel like I have no control over where my life is going, over what job I have, over where I am able to live. I don't have any control over that, and I'm just waiting for something to happen. And I'm begging the universe for something to happen, and I don't know why it's not. And I was actually going to talk about this a little bit later in the episode, but like there was this really cool TikTok that I saw yesterday that was about changing your perspective on timing and on waiting. And I'll throw it in right now. But it just like changed my perspective on a lot of things.
Good morning, friends. I just wanted to drop in for a few moments and let you know that everything is right on schedule. Similarly to how when you have a package delivered from UPS and you go online to track the shipment and it's showing you it's on its way. That's what's happening. Immense changes are underway. Positive, uplifting, supportive changes that include newness, right? New people, new opportunities, new possibilities. But right now, you may not be feeling the excitement that's bubbling up. Maybe you're feeling it in the backdrop. But the main thing that you might be feeling is a low-grade depression or an underlying current of sadness. That's completely normal because you're purging out the old. You're dispelling out of your system these old frequencies that are no longer vibrating in harmony with who you are and who you're becoming. So why is it so important for us to release the old, to welcome in the new? Because if we don't release the old, we end up projecting our past onto the future, onto the impending future. We end up bleeding on people that don't even know us. And they're like, whoa, pump the brakes, sweetheart. I'm not your daddy. Like, I don't know what you've been through in your life, but this is heavy, right? We don't want to be confronted with situations like that anymore. It's not healthy. We want to do a system reboot and start brand new by dropping all the old stories that we've been clinging on to, all of them. So even though you might be feeling slightly uncomfortable right now, it's completely normal. You're letting go of the old stories to welcome in new stories. You're deleting old photos on your phone to clear more space or more gigabytes to welcome in new memories, new videos, new photos with new people. So this is a celebratory time. It really is. So open up your heart, acknowledge all of it. And I'll tell you why it's so important to acknowledge the sadness and the pain, because it's your final goodbye. It's your final goodbye to the energies that brought you where you are now. It's like a train that brought you to this destination, and you don't want to dismiss it. You don't want to criticize it. You want to say thank you for getting me here. Thank you. And you give it a giant hug. Goodbye. That's why you've been grieving, because you're saying goodbye to the old version of who you are so that you can align to the higher version of what you deserve. I love you.
So basically, it was saying how like we want the immediate to happen, right? We can't stand waiting, because waiting means that whatever we want is not here yet, and we keep having to ask, when will it come? When will this happen for me? But the thing is that everything's already in motion for us. And I love the analogy he used of like something being delivered to you. Like you place the order, it's on its way. Like you just have to like understand and know that it's coming, but it's not here yet. But like everything happens, I like to say, in divine timing, because I am spiritual and I think things happen for a reason and that we're on this earth for a reason. But like everything is already on its way to you. You can literally manifest anything to happen to you in this life. Literally anything, as long as you believe in yourself. But also the mindset of you already have everything that you need. And that phrase confused me actually like up until like probably like very recently. I've been trying to like understand and break down that phrase of everything that you have everything that you have no, hold on, let me just change the gears in my head, because sometimes I can't speak and my brain gets confused. Everything that we want, we already have, basically. And what that means for me is like everything that's within us. Like everything that we need is already within us. And I became this very like whole person within myself. Like, I am now confident. Of course, like, I'm not always confident, but like for the most part, I feel like I've become one with myself. I'm starting to understand myself more, my wants, my needs, what makes me anxious, like what I'm able to handle, the kind of person that I deserve in my life, romantically or friendship wise, putting up boundaries when I need to, reminding myself that I love myself, and just knowing that I can literally do anything. And like when I took control of my life and I switched my job to part-time and now it's remote and now I can do YouTube, like I'm making the stuff happen for me. Like, people that I've had this conversation with who are like skeptical of the whole like law of attraction and like the things that you want will just come to you, and they're like, well, that sounds like I don't need to do any work and that it's already on its way to me, which is not the case. Really, it's a mindset shift is what needs to happen. You can't just like sit back and be like, well, yeah, everything's gonna happen to me, so fuck the world and like I just need to chill until it happens. Like, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying it's a mindset change. And like, I can't stress this enough. Like, I mean, your whole life is gonna be a shift in mindset. You're always going to be finding new perspectives. You're always going to be learning and growing. But really, when you like sit down with yourself and figure out, what you can do by yourself, what you need to reach out to people for help, for what is serving you and what isn't, and what's good for you and what isn't, and doing deep breathing exercises and journaling and writing down how you feel and being like one with your emotions. And for me, it's like learning what triggers me with anxiety. And sometimes when I'm really overwhelmed, I can like get this anger built up within me and I don't understand it. And I'm like, I don't want to be this way right now. So it's like being one with yourself and learning more about you, spending time with you. And for some people, it's the opposite. Sometimes you've grown up independently and you need to start surrounding yourself with other people. And that is partially a thing for me. I think I have grown up independently and like living in this like bubble of myself and not always like sharing my feelings or talking about me. So that is something I have to work on. But like overall, you're in this body, you have this soul, you're always going to have you. So when I say like focus on you, it's not in a bad way. And I don't even want to say not in a selfish way, because you should be selfish with yourself. Is that a repetitive statement? You should take time to be with you and realize what is good for you, what you need to accomplish, what your dreams are, what your goals are. And actually something I saw the other day about like manifesting was that someone like has this whiteboard in their room, like right when they get up, they see it, and it's like statements of like what goals you want to accomplish. But like, again, manifesting, at least how I do it, is in the present tense. So it's like, I am rich. I'll just use the examples. I am rich. I have a song that just reached 5 million downloads. I have new friends, whatever. Like 3 goals that you want to accomplish. Just like have them written out somewhere so that you always see them. I don't know. Am I rambling? Am I even on topic anymore? All of this stuff is going to like help change your perspective on life and help you become like one with yourself, become whole with yourself, because this feeling of like feeling stuck or feeling like you don't have control of your life, fear of the unknown, like I was very much in a bad place in 2019, feeling like I had no control. Right now, because I've done so much for myself in my life and I've grown a lot, I know even though I'm scared for the near future. I don't know where I'm going to live. I don't know if I'm going to be close to friends. I don't know if moving is even the right idea. I don't know if I should live at home and save money and just like travel, but like, will I be able to live at home with like my parents who can be stressed out? Like, can I handle that level of stress and some level of toxicity? Like, will I be okay? Like, all this stuff is stressing me out. My apartment lease is up in 2 months, and I'm like, where am I going? I literally have no idea. But like, I know that everything will be okay because I've reached this level of peace within my soul, within my brain, my mind, my body, that like, I literally know everything is going to work out for me. I know that I'm going to get famous on YouTube. I know that I'm going to get famous on TikTok. I know that a lot of people are going to listen to this podcast. I know that this is going to be my full-time job. Like, I am 100% positive that that will happen for me. I don't know why. I mean, I'm confident in myself. I love myself. This is what I want to do, so I'm going to do it. Like, I know that it's going to happen for me. But it's the scary thing of like, okay, so I'm not making money from this yet. Though you can donate to my podcast. You can do it. I'll put a link somewhere. I'll put a link in the description of YouTube. I'll put a link somewhere on Instagram and Facebook or wherever you're listening to this podcast. I'll put a link where you can donate to me so I can do this more often. Because it does take money to do this. I have a setup, I have a camera, I have a mic, whatever. That would be appreciated if you did donate. But like, I'm not making money from this currently. I do have a part-time job where I'm making money, but like, can I have another apartment after this while just having a part-time job and having that income? Like, I don't think I would be able to, unless it was like a really, really cheap apartment. I need to find another part-time job. And in my head, I know that I will. I either know that I'll get another part-time job, a second one, to make enough income, or I know that I'll start making money from this and I'll be okay. I just don't know timing-wise which one's going to come first. But it's scary. So, like, I know I'll be okay, but, like, the fear of the unknown is getting to me right now. And I think because, like, timing is coming up quick. My apartment's up in 2 months, and I'm like, oh, frick. Like, where am I going? And again, that whole timing thing of, like when I graduated college and I was like, I have to have a job by September. I didn't get a job until, so I graduated 2018. I didn't get a full-time job until September 2019. And I still didn't move out of my parents' house until fall of 2020. So, like, timing never works out how you want to plan it in your head. Like, oh, I need to be done with this job in 2 months. I remember when I was first starting to manifest, I would write in my journal, like, I'm switching to part-time with my job in January. It didn't happen in January. It happened in March or April. But believing that I could change my life to how I wanted it got me to the point where I was able to go to my job and say, hi, I'm switching to part-time. But, like, it didn't work out in the month that I wanted it to, but that's okay. And I thought, I had that mindset too with, like, when I wanted to move out of my parents' house. I was like, okay, I really want to be out of their house by October this year. And when it didn't happen, I was really upset, and I was like, why isn't this working out for me? My friend literally just got an apartment and I wasn't able to. Like, what is up with that? But honestly, like, we need to have these, like, I'll say, quote, low moments in our life to realize that, like, we needed those moments to get us to the mindset and perspective of, like, okay, I can have everything within me and I can be okay, and that's what's going to bring me to the things that I want and the things that I need. As long as I am okay internally And I realize that I am loved by myself. I am loved by family, by friends. Even if I have one friend, I have that one friend who loves and respects me. And I am breathing. And I have a place to sleep at night. I am feeding my body the right things, quote, right things. Like, I don't know, the things that my body is able to take in because I'm intolerant to a lot of things. And I'm feeding it nutrients, but I'm also feeding it things that it likes to eat and that I like to eat. And it's just this like sense of peace and serenity and wholeness that you feel with yourself. And with that comes feeling like you can literally do anything. And I'm getting emotional about this because I'm passionate about it. But also, my period's this week, so emotions are heightened. Mercury in retrograde just ended today, actually. So thank God. I don't know if it was messy for any of you guys. It was just emotionally crazy for me. My birthday, I was in a weird place. Anyway. But it's this like sense of peace within yourself, knowing that you are this amazing person. And again, like write sticky notes, write on a whiteboard, remind yourself of how great you are, how much you've accomplished. You pulled yourself out of a dark time all by yourself. That's huge. But there's also no shame in getting help. Like, sometimes we forget how much we've gone through and that we're still here. And that we've done so much work for ourselves and that we're doing so good. And like, you can literally do whatever you want in this life as long as your mindset is there. And if it's not there, that's okay too, because again, you need those low points to realize how fucking great you are. And without the low points, I wouldn't be where I am today. I wouldn't realize the shit that like was not good for me. Things that no longer serve me, I am not paying close attention to. And the dark times led me to realizing how great of a person I am and how strong I am and what I can accomplish. And again, it's not linear. Recovery and mental health and struggles is not linear. And as I'm like this whole episode, I'm like going back to a mindset kind of that I had back in 2019 of fearing the unknown and feeling like I'm stuck. And I do feel that right now. I'm scared that like I'm going to make the wrong decision. I'm going to end up at the wrong place. I'm going to lose money. I wrote down a couple things specifically that I was like nervous about. I'm just going to read them off right here. Okay. I'm not perfect. I'm still freaking out about the near future, such as these questions. Where am I going to live? Will I have another job? Will I have friends where I live, or will I be lonely? Do I have the wrong mentality of place over people? And there's a quote that I think about a lot from Aquamarine when she's on her date with Raymond. And they're talking about Fiji, I think. And Aquamarine's like, it's not where you are, it's who you're with. I think about that quote a lot, weirdly enough. But this weekend, I went to visit some friends. And honestly, like, it was so nice. It, like, rejuvenated my soul. I needed to just, like, go to a different location, even if it was like I don't know, this was a couple states away from me, a state away from me. I'm geographically challenged. It was like 4 or 5 hours away, but I just needed a new look, a new environment, and I needed to be around friends I hadn't seen in a while, and it like refreshed me. It cleansed my soul, and it was really nice, whatever. But I was talking to them about me trying to figure out, do I move somewhere? Do I stay at home? And do I travel? And then by traveling, I figure out where I want to live. But I'm a very spontaneous person. And if I want something, I go for it. Like, if I want to move to Germany, I'm just going to move to Germany and I'll figure it out. But, like, talking to them, they were saying how one of my friends moved out to this place where my other two friends are living, and he was like, it was enough for me knowing that I have these friends here, like, even though, like, maybe this location isn't on the top of my list, I'm just happy because it's a new environment, it's a new place that I get to, like, explore. It's not like my house, so it's still new, and I get to be near my friends, and that was enough. And I'm like, so now I'm like, do I have the wrong perspective on this? And should I choose a place where I am near friends, and does location not ultimately matter? So now I'm like, I don't know. I really don't know, and that's why I'm stressed. But also this whole like 2 months left thing is dumb. I don't have 2 months left. I mean, I have 2 months left in this lease. That doesn't mean I have to figure out my life in 2 months. The only thing with that is like, okay, if I don't, then I'm going to be living at home, and can I do that? Ultimately, I think yes. I think I can do anything in this life, so I think I could be okay if I were living at home. Also, there's nothing wrong with living at home. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying there's some struggles for me living at home, personally. But I know my boundaries. I have to speak those boundaries sometimes. I'm not always good at that. About what I can handle and what I can't at home specifically. I think I'm getting better at it. But like, I know that I'll be okay and that I'll figure it out. Okay, so quick outfit change. I had to stop all of a sudden recording because my friend was parked outside my apartment because I totally forgot that we were going to lunch. And so this is my lunch outfit. And so I'm just coming on here really quick to finish the episode. I was rambling anyway, so I think it's totally okay that I wrap up pretty soon. So sorry. Typical me, just my life is crazy. Oops, sorry. Okay. So just to wrap this up, I have no idea what I was saying before, but basically I think I was talking about like having everything you need already inside you, and knowing that, having that mindset, then everything can start to happen for you. And I'm not saying that things can't happen for you when you're in a bad place or a bad mindset. And I know that it's hard to come to terms with like knowing that things are going to be okay when things haven't been okay yet. Like in 2019, things hadn't really happened for me. I didn't have a job. I didn't figure out my life. I wasn't confident yet. Like, so, quote, life hadn't really happened for me yet. So that's why I was like, I don't see how things can start happening. So sorry. I'll probably cut that. Maybe not. But like, just start to shift your mindset and start to really tell yourself how truly amazing you are, and that you really are capable of doing anything that you want in this lifetime. And if getting there means going to therapy, talking it out to somebody. Sorry, there's a car. Whatever that means for you. For me, I did it. It was an independent journey. I think a lot of it comes from within. A lot of change comes from within. But then, like, it is helpful to seek out help through family, friends, or through a therapist. I know that now I think I should see a therapist. I think everybody should. Do you hear the thunder? I absolutely love thunderstorms. But basically, this whole mindset of like having everything you need already inside you comes from this like Buddhist mindset of like, you don't need anything external from yourself. And once you realize that, like, you will be okay no matter what comes at you in life. I mean, again, this life cycle is not linear, and we'll all go through ups and downs. I'm currently going through a stressful time, but ultimately I know I am okay right now, and that I will be okay. And that's what we just have to keep reminding ourselves. And our entire life is unknown. But what is known is right now. And that's a huge shift in your mindset too, is like really focusing on the present and not stressing about the future. I just had a conversation with my friends at lunch about how like this lease ends in 2 months and normally everybody looks for apartments in September. And so I had this thought of like, okay, I need to figure out where I'm going to be in the next 2 months. I need to figure this out now. When really, I don't have to figure that out so fast. And I'll be okay. And life will be figured out. So I know that we all fear the unknown. A lot of people go to college for a certain major, then when they're out, they realize they don't want to do it anymore, and then they're like, okay, but what am I going to do with my life now? Take that time to discover new interests, to really be with yourself and find out what you do like to do. Test out different things. The thunder's so cool. I hope you can hear that. But yeah, know that everything will be okay. And if you need anything, if you need any help, if you need any tips, if you just need someone to listen, reach out to me and we can talk. Yeah, I love you guys, and I truly do believe in all of you, and that you can all literally achieve your dreams in this life, and that everything will be okay. And yeah, you were put on this earth for a reason. But also don't let that get you stressed out. That you have to perform a certain way every day or achieve all your dreams to be successful. Just know that you're successful every day by like breathing and by just being you. And yeah, so you're all amazing. Be sure to subscribe if you're on YouTube. Again, that really helps me out, and I just love having you guys, having more people part of my little YouTube community. Send this podcast to a friend if they're struggling with not knowing what to do with their life, because we're all there. Nobody has their life set. Nobody. Not even Jeff Bezos or Mark Zuckerberg. They don't know what they're going to do. They don't know what they're doing. Also, give me some of your money. Don't keep it all for yourself, because I'm sure both of them are watching this podcast right now. Okay. That's it for this episode, guys. I hope that helped you a little bit, and I will see you in next week's episode. For now, did you hear that? Oh my God, look, this sounds like ASMR. Oh my God. Could I finally do ASMR? Hello, everybody. Did you just hear the thunder? Because it was really loud, and I hope that you could hear it. Sorry. That was kind of fun. Okay, I need to wrap this up. Okay, I will see you in next week's episode for another episode of Inches and Driving with me, Rose Willis. Okay, bye.